Good morning and welcome. My name is Kathy Long. I'm the Senior Training Specialist for the Ivy Tech Online Education Institute and the day-to-day coordinator of our includED program. You should be hearing my audio right now. If you do not, please check the volume level on your computer. You can use the sound check link in the audio panel. It's located on your GoToWebinar control panel. It's labeled Audio. And there's a sound check button that you can click to check your microphone and also your speaker level. You will not need a camera today or a microphone. To ask questions, you'll use the question panel located on your GoToWebinar control panel. Please locate the question panel and go ahead and say good morning and let me know that you can hear me. Good morning, Martina and Jackie and Heidi and Shirley. Thank you for letting me know that you can hear me. Welcome to everyone. Okay, great. So to participate in today's webinar, you're welcome to ask as many questions as you need or you'd like. You can use the question box to ask those questions, or if you'd like to raise your hand, I can also turn on your microphone if that would be easier for you. Good morning, Mary. I see that you popped in as well. All right, so today I want to talk to you about the Ivy Ready program. Ivy Ready is the overarching name that we've given to our digital textbook initiatives. And Ivy Ready really has three major components: Ivy Tech created content, open education resources, and what we traditionally know as our includED program. So Ivy Ready, or our Digital Textbook Initiatives program, came from two different sources. One, our Student Government Association, one of their legacy projects was try to reduce textbook costs for our students. I totally agree that that is something that we should all be concerned about in higher education. And as a parent, I really am concerned about the cost of textbooks as well. The other way that this has come about is that when President Snyder was still here, he had felt very strongly that students really needed to be able to access textbooks and materials anywhere, anytime, 24/7. So with his help and the academic leadership team, we started or worked with our partners Follett to participate in the includED program. The includED program is where all of the digital textbook resources and materials usually found with an access code were directly built into our online courses. They paid for those materials as a student with their tuition bill. And as course builders, many of you have played a very important role in helping that take place and making that a smooth process. So includED is part of our Ivy Ready program. And again, that's where we build those courses with direct integration. And then we also build those in Banner so our students can pay for those materials with their tuition. We also have Ivy Tech created content. For example, Math 123. This content was created by Ivy Tech faculty for our Ivy Tech students. And the third part of our Ivy Ready program is called Open Education Resources. It's part of our Green Source initiative. And this is where we actually have reduced the price of textbooks by at least 90%. And we've already saved our students over $1 million in textbook fees just by using these open education resources. You might have noticed with the includED program, it was growing and growing and growing, and then it took a very severe and massive reduction last semester. That is due to some changes by the Department of Education and their rules about programs like includED. And basically what they said is students need the opportunity to be able to opt out of a program. Okay, so they have to be able to, if they would like, to buy their books a different way, to purchase those materials a different way. There are three exceptions to that. exception number 1, if the content cannot be found anywhere else. So Math 123 stayed in the includED program because, again, you can't purchase that material anywhere but from Ivy Tech. Again, remember, Ivy Tech generated content for Ivy Tech students. If the program had custom materials that couldn't be found other places. So with our BCom, our business construction courses, a lot of that content was custom designed and built for those particular courses. They're deeply integrated into the online coursework, and those materials can't be easily purchased anywhere else. And then we also have a couple courses where the price of the book is so far below market value that this is the best price that students are going to find in a mass quantity. So yes, you might be able to find 1 or 2 books below that price, but as a majority, as a whole, below market value is a value to our students. So those courses remained in the includED program. So that's kind of a general overview of kind of our whole Ivy Ready digital textbook initiatives. I do want to take this moment to thank all of you as course builders for playing such an important part in this program. It is your dedication and your time spent building these courses that really have made a difference for our students. The number one thing I like about the Ivy Ready program is that students have the materials they need on the first day of class. And research shows that when students have those materials on the first day, they tend to be more successful, they have better retention rates, and overall better academic scores. So let's go ahead and pull up that Excel spreadsheet. Because of the expansion of the program and so many different scenarios that we've added to the includED program and to this spreadsheet, I kind of wanted to go over through each one of those with you, just so you can have a better understanding of when you add what code and under what circumstances. So just starting right at the top, here's our BCom 100 and our BCTI 100 courses. These are our building construction courses. This was built with Pearson content that is customized and deeply integrated into the course. If you go over to the far right-hand side, you'll see there's a note section. Okay. These courses apply only to only to traditional and hybrid sections. They do not apply to online courses at all. This should never be added to an online course. Okay. So make sure you're reading that very carefully. The spreadsheet has several different categories. This column A, I do apologize, it was just kind of there to indicate that there's a new course for spring 2017. And unfortunately, being an Excel document, it decided to add a year to every one of these. So you'll notice that it says spring 2017, and then it says new for spring 2018. So it just kept adding the numbers and so on and so forth. So please just know that all of these courses that are highlighted for new are actually new for spring 2017. This spreadsheet is only for our spring courses. So I apologize for the confusion. Let's go back up here to the top of this document. Column B is the course name, the publisher, then there's the fees. And I wanted you to pay careful attention to the fees, because you'll notice even though this is a Pearson publisher and they're all BCom courses, they have different pricing. So you'll see here that one course might have $122 and the other course has $62. This is again part of that textbook initiative to bring those prices as low as possible for our students. So several of these courses have been negotiated at a lower price, just depending on what materials are available in the course. So you want to make sure that you're paying very careful attention to that. So you have your fees and your taxes. Then we have this course attribute. This is new. I just added this to the spreadsheet by request. Mary McNary and Shirley Miller from our Indianapolis campus thought it would be very easy and handy to have if we had that course attribute just right there, easy to see in the spreadsheet, and I had to agree with that. So thanks to those folks for that suggestion, and that's now located here right on the spreadsheet as well. You then have your detail codes, And those detail codes can vary depending on the course material and depending on the course. This dictates where those funds go and how those are used. So this is very, very important. So you just want to make sure that you're paying very careful attention to what detail code that you're adding. Then you have your tax detail code, and then also your notes section. I've tried to be very explicit in offering you how and where to add this course materials into what types of courses that they're added to. So we have these BCom courses. It's part of the CAFE attribute, which means it's part of the includED program. But in this particular case, it's only added to the traditional and hybrid sections and not to online courses. Now, what does this CAFE attribute actually do? It does a couple of things. It, one, communicates with our Follett bookstore to let them know that this course has special billing functionality, that they're responsible for making sure that the content is available, and there's a lot of back-end technical things that go along with that. That CAFE attribute also indicates to our Blackboard technicians on how and where to load that course content. So it's very important that this information is loaded correctly. It has financial impact if it's not added correctly and hopefully prior to the billing of student materials. And then it also has course loading information. So remember, our overarching goal here is to make sure students have everything they need on the first day of class. If we don't have that CAFE attribute, the course doesn't get loaded correctly and students don't have their materials. So such a little tiny detail, but something that has huge impact on what we're doing here. Okay, so those are the BCom courses. Let's go ahead and scroll down just a little bit more and take a look at some of the other courses located on our spreadsheet. A lot of BCom courses. Okay, so this next section is kind of highlighted just with plain old white. Okay, there's Business 279, Business 101, and Business 222. This spreadsheet is currently filtered alphabetical order. Okay. Over here in the notes section, you'll see that what this talks about is that this is added to all online courses. So this is a typical original classic view of the includED program. This course content can be added to all online sections and by request to traditional and hybrid sections by the program chair. Okay. The program chair needs to let you know if they want to use this particular content in a traditional or hybrid section. I know many of you work very closely with your program chairs, so you might want to prompt them and have a conversation about that just to make sure that they're getting the information that they need and want. Okay. Just to give you a little bit of a concept, the Center for Instructional Technology maintains a statewide library of online courses of over 300 courses. They're designed for online delivery, but program chairs can choose to use those materials in traditional and hybrid sections. If that course from the statewide library of online courses is part of the includED program, it's very important that those courses get coded correctly. So we want to make sure that if a faculty member wants to use the includED content, that's being built in Banner correctly. So that's why in these particular cases of these includED courses, automatically it gets added to all of our online sections, and then it can also be added to different delivery formats by the request of the program chair. Okay. So we're going through this information pretty quickly, and there's a lot of information that I've already shared. Are there any questions? You can either raise your hand, and I can turn on your microphone, or you can post your question in the question box. Okay. Jackie has a great question about our IBYT courses having 2 different charges, and I'm actually going to scroll down. We'll get to that in just a moment, Jackie. That's a great question. I'm going to save it for just another few more minutes. Okay. All right. The next area on our spreadsheet, as we continue to scroll down through here, is a series of open education resource courses. They're highlighted by this light green color on the spreadsheet. These COM 101, Econ 201, English 206, and Marketing 101 are new for spring, and you'll see again, here's where the Excel spreadsheet decided to add a number every time they saw 2017, so I apologize for that. Open education resources, the fee is $10. There's no tax applied to that, and it uses the attribute called OMSF, Online Material Selection Fee. Open education resources, although the content is free, it's kind of free like a puppy. There are costs involved. So the OMSF fee kind of pays for our partnership with Lumen and the platform that these materials are delivered on. Again, it's a 90% savings for our students, and we've already saved our students over $1 million just with the limited online open education resources that we already have. And these particular sections of the open education resource courses, these are only available to traditional and hybrid sections. These are not available to our online courses. Our OER content has two different versions. We have a DE, Open Education Resource course, and we also have these just Open Education Resources. These courses have been developed with Lumen and our subject matter experts who are faculty here at Ivy Tech Community College. From a program chair perspective, on that, what used to be known as the 5 ISBN list, it's that textbook resource list maintained by Follett. Program chairs go into Discoverer at the beginning of the semester or during that textbook ordering time, and they select materials that they want for their course. In these particular courses, program chairs can select to use the OER content, just like they would a textbook from Pearson, Cengage, McGraw-Hill. Okay? They need to let you know as a course builder so you can build that correctly in the course. There's no charge from Follett. This is strictly an Ivy Tech fee that pays, again, for the maintenance of those courses and the system that it's delivered on. It's a material selection fee. So you just want to make sure that you're reading very carefully. In this particular case of open education resources, part of that green source program, these are not added to online courses. They're added by program chair request as a resource selection. All right, I'm going to scroll down the page here. Okay. This is a little odd, so I want to make sure that we point this out to you. You'll notice here, English 111 DE. This is a Cengage resource. This is part of the includED program. Okay, this is exactly like our traditional classic version of the includED program. This is added to all online sections and can be added by program chair request to hybrid or traditional sections. Okay. You'll notice as well that there's an English 111 open education resource option. Okay. This cannot be added to our online sections. This is only available by program chair request for their traditional or hybrid sections. Okay, so again, under this scenario, the program chair goes into Discoverer, and when they're selecting their textbook resources during that textbook ordering period, they can select to use open education resources for their course content. Okay. Again, we want to make sure that's being built correctly in the banner system. Okay. We talked a little bit about open education resources for online courses. So this is an example. I've tried to indicate what those are by putting this in parentheses DE code. Okay, so English 112 DE. This is an online course maintained in that statewide library of online courses that is using open education resources instead of a publisher resource as the main textbook materials. Okay, this is added when you see this DE. It's added to all online sections and can be added to a traditional or hybrid section by program chair request. And I've tried to outline that over here in the notes section for you. Okay. All right, I'm going to scroll down just a little bit more. I see that we have a couple questions in the question box, and I'll get to those in just a moment. So thank you for those questions. Entrepreneurship 101, again, that's a traditional includED course. You want to make sure that you notice that this is a different fee. It gets added to all online sections and can be, again, be requested by the program chair to be added to a traditional or hybrid section. Here's where we get into those IBYT courses. I think Jackie had a question about IBYT 113 specifically. So IBYT 112, 113, 114, 115, and there might be another one. Let's see, scroll down just a little bit. 115 and 116. These are online sections that, again, have been selected to use open education resources. You'll notice here that there's a different detail code. Okay, so this funding, these accounts go into a different account. These are added to all online sections, as indicated over here in your notes section, and again, by program chair request, can be used in both the hybrid and traditional classroom experience. IBYT 113 is a little bit different. So you'll notice here that we have IBYT 113. There's an open education resource. So the main content of the course is open education resources, and you should add this OMSF code or attribute and the fees for that. IBYT 113 also uses an includED supplement. This is a Strength Finders access code. It's an online little software program. It's kind of like a personality access. It kind of tells you what your strengths are, how you work best, how you learn, that type of thing. So in this particular case, IBYT 113, there are two charges, both the $10 with an OMS fee and a $16.75 for the CAFE attribute. Okay, so both of those should be added. And I've tried to tell you over here in the notes section, IBYT 113 has two charges, so you want to make sure that you're building both of those. Okay. All right, let's scroll down just a little bit more. Okay. So Math 123, there's a couple things here. Math 123, if you've already started building these for spring, you probably need to go back and revisit that. The price has been lowered. Okay, there was a change to the addition. The faculty worked on that. So the price has been reduced for the Math 123 book. And with Math 123, I've highlighted over here in purple, this applies to every single delivery format. Math 123, regardless if it's a synchronous course, online, face-to-face, hybrid, traditional, whatever it might be, it's all using the same content, so you want to make sure that you're adding that to every single course. It also has its very own detail code. Okay. Marketing 101, that's an open education resource. This is selected by the program chair for the delivery method that they want to use. It's not used for our online courses. Para 106, 108, 209, 211, and 224, these are all our classic traditional includED course sections. So again, you'll add these fees and the attribute to all of the online sections, and a program chair can select to use these for a traditional or hybrid environment as well. We have a couple other courses left here. Political Science 101 DE. So this is, again, a course that applies to all online sections, but it's part of our Open Education Resources program. So you're going to make sure you're going to add the OMSF attribute, and program shares can request to use this in other sections, such as traditional or hybrid. Okay? And then Social 111 is a very typical classic includED program. So again, available to all online sections and by request for other sections or delivery methods by the program chair. The spreadsheet also has, I've tried to give you some notes, highlights over here with colored messages. They're random colors. They just wanted to make sure that you understand there's a different message for each color that's applied. Okay, so that's a lot of different information. We've covered that Ivy Ready is our digital textbook initiative program. It contains 3 components: material created by Ivy Tech faculty for Ivy Tech students. The example is Math 123. We have our Green Source initiative, which is our open education resources. That saves our students about 90% on textbook costs, and it's already saved our students over $1 million. We also have what we've formerly known as our includED program, where all the course digital materials are built into the course, and they pay for those materials with their tuition. Okay. You want to make sure that you're reading very carefully to how these particular courses and their codes are applied. Try to make it as simple as possible. If you ever have any questions, you are welcome to contact me. My email address is klong@ivytech.edu. I am kind of the keeper of the list, so if in doubt, give me a call or email me. I'll put that in the chat box for you. Okay. I really do appreciate what each one of you are doing as course builders and also working very closely with our program chairs. As you know, there's a lot of different changes to the programs. There's a lot of different formats for this. I just encourage you to keep having conversations with your program chairs. You're a great resource for that, working together to decide what content materials you need for your students in your region and making sure that that's built correctly in Banner. That CAFE attribute, that OMSF, the fees and messaging that go along with each one of these scenarios is very important. Again, if that doesn't get built correctly, it has a financial impact on our students. So we've seen a couple times in the past where you just kind of get in the zone, and then the phone rings and you forget to add the fee, but you've added the CAFE attribute. It's very uncomfortable when you have to go back and bill students at the end of the semester when that error is caught, or after the billing has already been taken care of and you have to try to get that money back, or the region is responsible for paying that bill. So what you guys do is very, very important, and I do appreciate that. Same thing with the OMSF fees. You know, that also indicates how those courses are loaded, and our #1 goal is making sure our students have everything they need to be successful in the course. I will stay on the line and answer any more questions for you. I know, Dee Dee, you have a specific question about corporate college, or formerly corporate college workforce alignment, and I'll be glad to answer that for you. I'll be glad to stay on the line and answer any questions that you may have. If you'd like to exit the webinar, you're welcome to go to the top of the GoToWebinar control panel and hit the letter X up in the top right-hand corner and to exit the webinar. Again, I thank you for your time. I will have a recording of this webinar available to you in case you need a reference point or you need to share that with someone else on your staff. So again, thank you and have a great semester.